Hello everybody, this is your boy, the Green Talent, coming at you with a video that's kind of like different from the ones that I put out um, yesterday during the game. Um, not I had a little bit chance to calm down from the video that I done yesterday, like I said in the video just a second ago. Um, Somebody need to get off my chest at this point in time. Now, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, um, this game was lost based on a lot of reasons. And one of the reasons was actually running the football. Now, if you think about it very carefully, and what I'm about to say should get you a little bit more into focus into a little bit more detail. I had to put the light on because it was kind of dark up in there. I thought I would be able to do the video a little bit dim, but I can't see myself, so and y'all probably can't see me either. But anyway, um, the blame goes on the entire team and probably the coaching staff because in the last 3 or 4 games that we played recently, the games that we won, the 3 games that we won were games that we ran the football effectively. Um, the Eagles yesterday got out of that formula. They were able to pass the ball more than run. They ran the ball a little bit in the first half, get out of it, and then decided to run the ball um, in the several minutes of the second half, and they got out of it again and started passing the ball. Um, Now, one of the balls that the New York Giants threw, Daniel Jones threw to the H back fullback, that ball was dropped. And I don't understand the life of me the reason why the referee said that was a touchdown and that was not a touchdown. That ball was dropped. The guy did not have no control of the football when he caught it, and when he went to the ground, he had no control of the football when he went to the ground. So I don't understand why the referees say otherwise, but that was not a touchdown. That even shouldn't have counted. You know what I'm saying? Um, the game was low scoring, 13-7, and the only touchdown the Eagles scored was actually off a run, and the only touchdown that the Giants got was off a pass play. So the Eagles should have stayed with that formula. They should have ran the football. They should have kept running the football. But the Giants, for some odd reason, decided to put a spy on Hurts because they know Hurts hasn't been to break the pocket at any time, any given moment. So they had a spy. They spied him most of their game, and so I guess he felt. Well, I guess they felt that since they had a spy on him, they can throw the football. Well, here's the thing: when you spy one particular player, running back, quarterback, that opens up for the run. It does not open up for no pass because when you spy, when a quarterback or running back is being spied upon, that leaving that player close to the line, and that means that open field where he should be at is wide open. That means that you can run the football. You can. And that's what they should have done if they had ran the football effectively against the New York Giants. The term spy wouldn't even be in their vocabulary. They probably wouldn't even be spying Jalen Hurts no more. But that's what they did. Most of their game they spied him, and so but the thing that kills me the most is that um, Jalen Smith was wide open. 2 of those 3 passes close to the end of the fourth quarter were coming to an end. But you choose to throw the football to Jalen Rager, who had no experience as a wide receiver. If anything, he should remain on special teams on punt returns. That's a guy you do not line out wide. That's a guy you don't line in the slot. That's a guy you don't line in no form or fashion. They made a mistake doing that, and that's terrible. And that's the reason why they lost the football game because it hurts me. Hurts should have seen Smith open on the other side of the field, and he did not. He was solely focused on getting that ball to Jalen Rager. Now, Rager had dropped those two passes that Hurts threw to him. He dropped both of those balls. The first ball that he ever tossed the ball, he had a chance to get that ball, but that ball went right through his hands, hit him on the head. Now, the first time he threw the football, he had a chance to catch it. He jumped up and caught it, but it went through his hands. The second time he was throwing the football, it was thrown. There were two accurate throws from Hurts. The second time he caught the ball hit him right up on the head, doinked, and bounced. And when it bounced, luckily it wasn't intercepted. The third ball, I'm not exactly sure what was on Jalen Hurts' mind at the time, but when you got Smith open on the other side and you didn't see him, that would frustrate any wide receiver. And I didn't get to see the change, but they said that when he went to the sideline, they said he slammed his helmet on the out there on the side when the play was over with and the Giants won the football game. We're getting ready to go to victory formation. They said Smith went over there and slung his helmet to the ground and had some things to say about Hurts. Now, what was said, I don't know. But all I know is he was pissed off. Because had he been throwing one of those football games, if he had been tossed one of those footballs, he probably would have got a first down in the beginning with, because it wasn't even, I don't think it was first and goal, to be honest with you. So, I think one or two of those balls should have gone to Smith. Should have, because he was open on two of those three pass plays. He was open. And I don't get it. I don't understand why Hurts was focusing so much on Rager when he should have been getting the ball to the other side of the field to Smith. For some reason I'm not gonna get over that, because then he had a chance to then he threw 3 interceptions. He threw one over the middle of the field, then he threw one in the end zone, and then I think he threw one in the third quarter. The one in the second half during the last minutes. I think during the last minutes of the third quarter, he threw 3 interceptions, and that's the first time. That's the first time in a long time that he had thrown 3 interceptions in one game. Matter of fact, I think he threw one. I think he threw one interception the game before. The other game that we won. And I think he threw 3 in one season. Now he got a total of 6 interceptions in one season, 6 picks. And so when the Eagles decide to pass the ball, they make themselves predictable. And what they did. I think Hurts on the center, I think only 2 or 3 times in this game. And majority of the time he was in shotgun formation. Now now specifically me, I am getting tired of seeing Hurts in shotgun formation. Nick Sirianni need to figure out some way to keep Hurts on the center at least 80% of the time in the game, because when you are on the center, that makes you unpredictable, which means that you can throw the football or you can run it. And like I said, I watched most of that whole game yesterday, and it disappointed me to see that man in shotgun formation in 80% of his snaps. That is not good, and that is not a good formula for winning football game, because when you're in shotgun formation, it makes you predictable to the linebackers, and it makes you predictable to the defensive front four, because they can come crashing down on the quarterback and get him for sacks, or put pressure on him to a point where he can get the ball out faster than what he should. And 2 of those 3 interceptions, the Giants front 4 came crashing in, and they forced him to get rid of the ball 2 of the 3 times in that game that he threw those 3 interceptions. So if you watch the game through and through, you can actually see what the Giants done defensively because the Giants are not a good defensive team, but they had a good formula in a way to contain Hurts and keep him from running out the pocket. They did a magnificent job on that, and so the Giants may have created a formula to actually keep Hurts and the running game contained, because teams know that Hurts is not an accurate passer when it comes to throwing the football out the pocket. They know this, and the rest of the teams are going to keep doing that until the Eagles figure out some way to get the run game going, to keep defenses guessing. Cause when you get defenses guessing, then you can pass the buffalo, then you can pass the football off of either shotgun formation, or you can pass the football when you're rolling out, or pass the football and play action pass. This is something that they failed to do yesterday's game against the New York Giants, and that what cost them the loss, 13-7. I mean, seeing Hurts in shotgun formation is terrible, and this is the same thing that happened to Wentz last year. Peterson kept him in shotgun formation a whole lot and refused to put him on the center. The same thing happened last year. It's repeating itself this year. And when you are in shotgun formation, you make yourself predictable, especially when you ain't got wide receivers that can go out deep and catch the ball 10 or 15 yards for first downs. Now, I'm not saying Smith can do it, and I'm not saying Quez Watkins can do it. But I do know you got two deep threats that can take the top off any defense. And if you can line on the center and keep your wide receivers out wide, and when you're on the center, and then you got a running back, one or two running backs behind you, teams got to guess where the ball is going to go or where it's going to be distributed to. But when you're in shotgun formation and you ain't got no running back behind you or on the side of you, and most of that game from what I've seen, when Hurts was in shotgun formation, it was a naked backfield. It wasn't nobody back there to protect him if he gets sacked or get hit, because see, when you by yourself in shotgun formation, defense knows to crash in either in your face in the middle, so they get you nowhere chance to step up and get the ball out. And in that game, that's what I saw. They crashed the middle of the defense, of the offense, and especially when you ain't got your main center, Kelsey, protecting the front end of the offense. Cause Kelsey got hurt, and I don't think he went back into more of that game. They had, I think, what was his name, Hybrid or Hidget, whatever his name is. His name started with an H. They had him out there playing center, and he is a center, but he ain't a Pro Bowl All Pro center like Kelsey. They had, and majority of the time, when Hybrid, whatever his name was in center formation, they had this man in shotgun formation in 80% of the time in that football game. And when you got an inexperienced center, teams are gonna crash the middle, and that's what they did in this game mostly. They got in Hurts' face. Hurts threw 3 interceptions. He threw one over the middle, and he threw one when he tried to go for a touchdown, and I think he threw one also that it was nobody on that side of the field, and Giants just caught that ball, I think 10 yards before the end zone. So he threw 3 interceptions, 3 picks, and them 3 picks, the Giants only got three points. You know what I'm saying? So that is what bothers me the most, because they keep lining him in shotgun formation and instead of putting him on the center. And when you're not on the center, you are predictable. When you're not on the center, you are predictable. But when you are on the center, that makes you unpredictable. And I don't understand why Nick Sirianni didn't see that or wasn't noticing that, because see, if I was the coach, man, I think I would do a better coaching job than Nick would. Because see, 80% of the time, my quarterback will be on the center. Ain't no way in the world I have been shotgun formation unless we are trying to come back into the game. That's the only way you put your quarterback in shotgun formation if you are trying to make a comeback. But this is a whole reverse. This man been in shotgun formation from the beginning of the game to damn near in the end of the game. And I think he went on something like three, maybe four times on the Sunday the whole game. And if you notice, in them 3 or 4 times when they ran the football, they got first downs. When they passed the ball, they got first downs. So those are your unpredictable plays right there. If you're gonna pass, if you go pass from under center, that's great. But if you pass out of shotgun, that's not so great because teams will know exactly what your plan is from the jump street because it's on film. It's on film, and every team that's gonna see the film gonna know to get you if you are in shotgun formation. And for the life of me, I don't understand why Nick Sirianni chooses to put this man in shotgun. If you put him on the center, he can pass. He can pass out of it, or he can get the ball over to the running back and let the running back get some yards for first downs. When you do that, you win football game. But when you're in shotgun formation, 80% of your snaps, you are not going to win no games. And look what happened to the Eagles yesterday. Need I say more? I feel I need to get this out off my chest because, like I said, I had a chance to calm down and I couldn't say all what I wanted to say because I was so pissed off. I made 2 crummy videos, and they were always short than the video that I'm comfortable putting out now. You know what I'm saying? It was short because I was frustrated and I didn't want to scream on video. I screamed on video a few times in the past, but when you get old like I am, you can't really do what you want to do from way back when to now. So that's what I had to say. And the defense did the best they could. Special teams, not so great. So normally I would grade the offense, defense, special teams, and coaching, but after what I witnessed yesterday, none of them don't deserve no grades. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give the entire team an F minus. The entire team, because you didn't get no sacks, you didn't get no interceptions, you didn't pressure the quarterback. You had Jalen Hurts on the center 20% of the time. You had him in shotgun formation 80% of the time. You threw 3 interceptions. You got sacked twice. And the offensive line didn't protect very well. Special teams, you didn't get no first. You didn't get. You had penalties on special teams. You didn't get even 25, 30 yards on punt return because it's like when you got on punt return, you caught the ball and you stood there and didn't even try to run out. So coaching also gets an F because they didn't put the offense and defense and special teams in position to win the football game. So overall, it's an F. And there's nothing more I can say about that. So if you like my video, give me a comment, share, subscribe, and like. And most importantly, notification bell on top so when I make a video, it comes direct from me to you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that's what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel what I need to say. Because at this point in time, after what I witnessed yesterday, it won't surprise me none if we losing the game against the New York Jets. Now, need I remind you, we are undefeated against the New York Jets. Undefeated. We got all wins, no losses. And after what the Giants put on the Eagles yesterday, and it won't surprise me none if the Jets use the same formula against us to snap this streak. It won't surprise me none because and like I said before, if the Eagles lose to the New York Jets, Jeffrey Lurie better start firing some folks or putting people on notice. Well, I think I'm tired of the on notice thing. He needs to start firing folks Someone need to be out of a job either before the year comes to an end or on the end of the year. Cause ain't no way in the world we better not lose to New York Jets. Cause if we do, this gonna be one of the worst teams in Eagles history, despite their record that I ever witnessed in my 41 years of being an Eagles fan. I thought Andy Reid last two games was horrible, and I thought Chip Kelly's last game was awful, and you thought Pearson games were bad and awful. You think Ray Rhodes games loss was horrible. This won't come no closer to those four coaches if the Eagles lose to the New York Jets. And I'm being so real on this because this makes no sense for me to say. It makes no sense. Like I said before, we had five coaches, and I could think of six rather. If you go back to David Mill didn't have some losing game, but they wasn't this worse. Buddy Ryan lost some games, and it wasn't this bad. Rich Cote, and I hate Rich Cote. He lost some games in the end of the year, and they wasn't this bad before all these guys got fired. When Ray Rose came, the last games he lost, they wasn't this bad. If Andy Reid, the last games that he lost, they wasn't bad. Chip Kelly losses weren't this bad. Peterson loss wasn't this bad. Nick Sirianni, you're about to surpass those 7 coaches. Them 7 coaches as the worst in Eagles history if you don't get your shit on correct. Need I remind you, of them 7 coaches, I only dislike the one of them, and that was Rich Cote. He's the only one that I really didn't like. But you're about to surpass these 7 coaches as the worst coach in Eagles history if we lose to the New York Jets. And those 7 coaches got undefeated records against the New York Jets. Them 7 coaches. You know what I'm saying? I think let's see. I think Peterson has 1 win against him, and I think Ray Rhodes got 2 wins against him. Andy Reid been the Eagles coach for 14 years, and I will say I think he got 3 wins against them. You know what I'm saying? Ray Rhodes got 1 win in the 4 years he been a coach. He got 1 win against them. Chip Kelly has 1 win against them, I believe. So you got to look at all these coaches that got 1, 2, or 3 wins against the New York Jets, and you're about to be the one. You're about to be 0-1 against the Jets if you do not win this coming weekend. If you don't win, you need to be out of a job pronto, because this game matters more than yesterday's game against the New York Giants. The Giants game is a division game, so that really don't matter. It matters to a certain degree for a playoff contention, but as far as wins and losses against one team, you lose, you need to be excused as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach. I mean, cause it makes no sense for us to witness this. You know what I'm saying? But we're about to witness a loss against the New York Jets if you don't get your priorities back on track from what you were 3 of the last 5 games that you played. You're about to become one of the worst. So, like I said in the video, comment, share, like, subscribe, notification bell on top. This is your boy, the Green Talents. Whew! Coming at you with a video that I had to really get off my chest. Like I said, it wasn't no rant, but I had to get off my chest. Peace, one love.